Greetings, kindred, and a happy new moon. Excuse me why I just put this chart down. I was just looking at the Jupiter retrograde, actually. I'm going to talk about the new moon first. So, yeah, happy new moon. So, the new moon will begin on the 28th of the 7th, 2022, at 18:54 in the GMT time zone, at 13:54 in the EDT time zone, and on the 29th of July at 3:54 in the AEDT time zone. So we have a new moon which will begin in the sign of Cancer. Oh, my screen is frozen now. Excuse me. There we go. Oh, it's been a weird old day today. It's like I've really found it hard to get it together. I'm sure many people felt the same. I actually felt this new moon brewing around about 2 days ago. It's like I had this sudden calmness come over me and yeah, just feeling a little bit in my head and just really tired and just feeling to retreat. And yeah, that's what the moon in Cancer is all about. Also, I just felt to like doing self-nurturing stuff like, beauty treatments and just like messing around at home, like doing bits and pieces, catching up on bits and pieces. It's been a really, really strange energy actually, because I feel like everything's just happening in slow motion as well. And with our moon, sun, and the goddess Ceres, which is all about nurture, self-nurture, and nurturing others, is in opposition to Pluto, retrograding in Sagittarius. So we're all very deep at the moment. It's like a deep within the depths of our soul, as Pluto is retrograding through Sagittarius at the moment. So this is like fire and water. But it's kind of like Pluto's got a spiritual side to him. It's a very deep spiritual side. And, the moon and sun at 7 degrees, that is also, a very spiritual number. But then adding up to 14, when we add them together, and 4 and 1 make 5. So again, I'm feeling this shifting energy. But it's almost like this ascension that's going on at the moment. And I feel that's on quite a large scale. And maybe we're reflecting a lot on, our creativity, or we're focusing on, our self-healing, or maybe our relationships. And yeah, but it's a very strange, awkward energy. And, we've had the nodes in square to Saturn for quite some time now. Well, this T-square that's been going on has now become a grand cross. So we have Mercury at 0 degrees in Leo, square the North Node, Uranus and Mars. Now, this little stellium in Aries, Mars is the ruler of Aries. It's a very active, highly energetic planet. And Uranus, that's been transiting Aries for over a year now, that is a very erratic electrical energy. And conjunct the North Node shows me it's collective. So this is also, Uranus is about higher consciousness. The North Node is about what we need to achieve here before we leave the earth, or, it's the current trends, the heightened kind of energy that's kind of around at the moment. So there's so much activity going on right now. Very fast paced, very quick and sudden. And, maybe a lot of people with stuff that, this is, to me, Mercury, the ruler of Gemini and Virgo. But the Gemini energy is pretty strong with the Black Moon Lilith conjunct Venus there. Now, I don't need to skip over what I'm saying about Mercury and Leo, but I just wanted to explain this bit first. So Venus rules our finances and, what brings us joy and pleasure in life. And the Black Moon Lilith is the shadow caster. So, this opposition here is already kind of like a dark energy, and the Black Moon overshadowing our sense of security or pleasure, or, even maybe our relationships. It's like this big shadows cast over that right now, but it's creating a very detached energy because the Black Moon in Gemini is very detached emotionally, but also not being true to themselves. So when they do get emotional, when the Geminian energy gets emotional, it's normally eruptive, and it normally comes out verbally. So this is where Mercury comes in. Mercury is all about the verbal, the mind, how we absorb information. And Leo is the sign of like the entertainer. So I just feel there's a lot going on at the moment when it comes to, maybe the entertainment industry or the media at large. But it can also be us kind of like maybe feeling like we're too scared to speak up because, we're being misunderstood, or, our spirits have been dampened that way, especially with Mercury in opposition to Saturn, who's a part of this grand cross here. So Saturn at 23 degrees, that adds up to 5. That's another shifting energy. So we've been having shifting energies going on for quite some time. But I feel, because Uranus will go into retrograde in about a month, the next month or two. Uranus is normally one of the last planets to go into retrograde every year. But so obviously, he'll be in Uranus for a little while. I think he actually enters into Taurus in 2024. So we've got another 2 years of Uranus being in Aries. And, that's already a very fast-paced and very changeable, very eruptive, very electrifying energy. And, we've all been experiencing that for the last few years now. But with Mars coming into conjunction, it's heightening up that energy. So it can be quite shocking as well. It's like an electric shock. It comes in bits and pieces, and that's why I've always said the awakening is happening in bits and pieces. It's like a shock to the system, on a collective level, because Uranus is in conjunction with the North Node right now. And, there's nowhere really where maybe we feel safe enough to speak up, or we're not being heard. I mean, Leo really does want recognition, not necessarily from people he doesn't know, but definitely from people he does know. He demands that respect, he demands to be heard. But Mercury at 0 degrees, but with the Sun, Moon, And Ceres in Cancer, there's this need to like protect oneself. And Cancer and energy is all about self-protecting, protecting the family, protecting children. So there could be a lot of stuff going on around children at the moment. And, in opposition to Pluto retrograding in Sagittarius, it's got to be certain truths that are being revealed either inwardly on an inner level or collectively. So, that's what I'm kind of getting from that energy there. And, the good thing about Venus being in conjunction to the Black Moon Lilith is because Venus is half Black Moon, half kind of Virgo Mercury energy. So Venus is like the light and the shadow. But Venus is like the Black Moon Lilith in maturity connected to her twin. So it's Nephis and Isis connected. The twins create Venus. And so, yeah, Venus does tend to balance out the Black Moon Lilith's energy. So you can hear it in my voice. I'm pretty worn out today. I'm telling you, I haven't done much either. But just looking at this chart wheel, it's just wow. Because we have this grand cross that I've just spoken about. But we also have a kite here with the South Node. This has been going on. Venus, the Black Moon Lilith, with Neptune and the goddess Juno. And there's also a trine here going to the goddess Vesta. And they're all kind of going back to the South Node, or Vesta's more aligned with the midheaven, which is for the GMT time zone, really. So here, actually, in the GMT time zone, we've also got this yod, but I'll talk about that in a moment. So, I feel relationships may be under a lot of pressure at the moment. It's probably connected to finances, and maybe we're not talking to each other about our fears, or, maybe we're pretending everything's all right when it isn't. Maybe we need to face up to more like the realities of our situations, or that reality is kind of being hidden from us, because the Black Moon Lilith is also about the hidden. And when the Cancerian energy goes into its shell, it kind of blocks out information coming in. It's a complete shutdown, but it's like going into hermit mode, really. But this particular moon, it's very highly sensitive, very emotional. But I feel there's this great need to get into self-healing, or getting in touch with the more spiritual side of our life. Whether we do that through our creative art, or we do that through prayer and spiritual practices. Because I feel there's, again, I was saying, this big ascension about to erupt, or is erupting already. And it really does make sense to me, because we are in the energy of the Lionsgate portal right now. And the Lionsgate portal will reach its peak between the 8th and the 13th of August. So I'm going to do a separate video about that. I haven't even looked at the charts for that yet. But I'm just feeling, as the portal, we get closer and closer to the Lionsgate portal, we're going to feel a heightened sense of consciousness. So I'm already experiencing like this buzzing in my ears and all around my head area. So I think many will feel that. Just watch out for like heart palpitations as well, because of this Mars Uranus energy in Aries. That's kind of like palpitating. And, you know, I just feel we need to just really get ourselves in a place of peace, or in a place where we're feeling more optimistic. And I do feel, things are coming to the surface. And, you know, I said a few months back on some of my charts, many of us will come out of the Mercury retrograde, actually, when the Mercury retrograde came to an end in Taurus, that many of us would be stepping out of that in the know. And some of us are already in the know, where we're kind of very connected to what's going on globally, energetically. So we kind of know we're already kind of in that mode of faith optimism, or, you know, working behind the scenes to prepare, really. It's more about self preparation that I've been talking about, growing our own food and stuff like that, and getting more in touch with our communities. So I just feel like a lot of people are retreating, maybe to absorb information that's coming in, or to actually absorb all the information that's been very erratic and all over the place all year long. And maybe it's time now just to integrate all that knowledge and prepare ourselves for the peak of the Lionsgate portal. Because in my experience, I've been doing 13 Star Sign Astrology, the Lionsgate portal, that period of time has always been very, very intense. But I feel on this particular occasion, it's going to be even more so, because there are more people now, a lot more aware and in their higher consciousness. So collectively, we're really going to feel that. And we have the goddess Vesta here as well, and she's all about passion. She's all about, the divine, or the divinity, finding the divinity in her passion. And she does support the fire signs, and she's at 7 degrees, which is the spiritual number, in the sign of Aquarius, which is the sign of the humanitarian. And then we have the goddess Juno, who's all about tradition and commitment, at 23 degrees, which is again another shift in energy, coming into conjunction with Neptune, who's at 3 degrees retrograding through Pisces, which is his own sign. So, we can, go into our dream worlds, or watch out for dreams, I would say, at this time. I think dreams will be powerful. Psychic awareness or psychic instinct will be powerful right now. But I just feel that we need to calm our emotions so we can actually get a stronger connection to our spirituality, or our spiritual selves. So we definitely need to protect our aura. So working on meditations to protect the aura would be good. Positive daily affirmations, I always recommend them anyway. The most important thing to do here is, because it is such an emotional, hypersensitive time right now, energetically and globally, we need to keep our spiritual selves uplifted. And, there's a lot going on here in the UK, because we have the midheaven over here, combined in this kite of highs and lows. So, there's a lot going on over here at the moment. We're going to be having like a substitute prime minister, and stuff like that. There's a lot going on in the media, and there has been through the short spell of summer that we had. I think we had a few days of summer here. It's all gone kind of bit overcast again. And yeah, I just feel, well, we had a blast of heat, and then all of a sudden it's kind of calmed right down to overcast skies, which has been quite sudden. I mean, even the shift in the weather kind of like is affects our moods. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's very sudden, especially with Uranus in Aries and with Mars, the ruler of Aries, coming into conjunction. It's kind of speeding things up even more so, and making things seem more kind of erratic. So wherever that section there lies in your chart is how it will be affecting you. So each and every one of us will be feeling this differently. Do you know what I mean? But it is definitely a collective energy conjunct the North Node. So, like I said, in the UK, with the Ascendant, which is all about image and projection, in sextile to the goddess Vesta at 70 degrees in Aquarius, that's to me is a very highly spiritual, humanitarian value. So, this is the image that's being presented, but in quincunx to our sun and moon and the goddess Ceres, it's almost like, yeah, the energy appear. Things are just not what they seem. Things are just not what they seem. And I think we all here in the UK, probably, or in the GMT time zone, it's like we need to retreat and really get in touch with our inner spirit or our creative activity, or just chill really and relax with family, or you know just doing kind of like domestic things. And even though I say, the moon doesn't actually rule the fourth house, Gemini does. The moon does rule the fifth house, which is all about our creative energy, our procreation as well. So it's connected to children. And I do feel like the energy of children is very, very relevant here in some way. So that's the new moon chart, you know. And like I said, just a reminder, the Black Moon in Gemini is really encouraging us to be more authentic about our true natures. So we have Jupiter going into retrograde on the same day as the new moon, around about 3 hours later. So after the new moon begins, Jupiter will go into retrograde. And as you can see, the chart's very similar. The yod would have died down. So at the peak of the new moon, here in the UK, I don't know what's going to come about. But we'll find out tomorrow evening. I'm actually recording this the day before. But we still got the goddess Vesta in quincunx to the sun. So the moon would have moved forward 1 degree. So the chart rule is actually pretty similar. So Jupiter will go into retrograde. So when Jupiter goes into retrograde in Pisces, 1 and 6 make 7. But the number 16 is all about new beginnings, So I don't know if something's going to come out here at the new moon, maybe in the media, maybe, I don't know what's going on really with the political scene and when decisions will be made, or if there's other stuff going on at the moment. But I feel even on a personal, individual level, this is like a fresh start. So I think we are really reaching some heights at the new moon. and then a few hours later, things will begin to kind of calm down a little bit, but not much. So we still have this ground cross going on. We still have the kite. If anything, these seem to have strengthened. So yeah, I just feel, take it easy because, Jupiter really, again, when Jupiter retrogrades in Pisces, things are not always what they seem. There's a lot of changes that are going on right now. And, we mustn't be over optimistic about certain situations. And I feel this as well, that need for preparation. We mustn't be over idealistic or escape what we're actually feeling. We need to bring into balance what we're feeling with our true morals and principles. And, even though things may seem dark, there are solutions there. There are solutions. It's just that we need to just take that time out, recuperate, so we can get into kind of action. Because I think at the moment it's a very, very push-pull energy. And I just feel there's a lot of ascension energy. And with Jupiter, Jupiter used to be the ruler of Pisces before Neptune was discovered. So this is a very, very spiritual. Jupiter in Pisces is very, very spiritual, and in retrograde, again, it's like that going within, that retreating. And I think in a way, with everything that's gone on, and, how religion and spiritual practices have been kind of cast to the side, so to speak, it's left many people feeling quite numb about their spirituality or their religious values or even their morals and principles. It's like, the last few years have seen that attitude of like going against the grain, really, going against what our morals and principles, going against our human natures. I hope I'm kind of making sense with what I'm saying. But I just feel that people are now kind of like almost erupting out of this energy. I feel there's a lot of erupting energy going on right now. And, it's so important that we release that in a calm way. So, it's all fire on one hand and all water on the other, with air kind of sweeping in as well. There's not much earth energy really I'm seeing in the chart apart from Saturn in Capricorn. And Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, so it does make that energy strong, but he is in retrograde. So he's kind of like living in the past a bit. But all the rest of the energy I'm seeing here is just really fire, air, and water, except for the goddess Pallas is in Taurus. So really the only thing we're seeing, what is going on with the earth, with our environments, because Taurus is really all about environment, the inner child, and materialistic values. So maybe we're concentrating too much on the material, and the spiritual is like being a little bit blocked, and now it's coming in at full force. And there's a very, very strong will about all this energy coming in as well. And like I said, we are coming up to the peak of the Lionsgate portal. You know, to me, this would make sense why this energy is here right now, because the Lionsgate portal is one of those times of year where ascension does happen. And I've always felt 2022 is going to be um, an extremely important year for a collective higher conscience, a collective ascension. So I'm just going to leave it there, kindred, and yeah, happy new moon. Sending you all peace and much love. Take care.